Mabuhay and welcome to the Philippines. Scattered across more than 7,600 islands, this archipelagic country is home to a diverse wildlife, postcard-worthy views, abundant natural resources, may it be land, air, water, minerals, and many more. Philippines surely has it all. Sometimes you may wonder why this place seems like a paradise, blessed with such balanced and harmonious way of life. Long white sand beaches, majestic mountain ranges such as the Sierra Madre. Our country really is full of wonders, isn't it? But sometimes we tend to forget that such beauty is only temporary and that we must learn to take care of our environment. We must understand that we are doing this also for us to prevent numerous existing environmental issues such as air pollution.
With the daily hustle and bustle of Metro Manila, many are too busy to notice the bad quality of air that we breathe.
More than 137 million Americans are living in places with unhealthy levels of air pollution.
Yeah, not good news. That is 2.1 million more people breathing harmful air compared to just last year. These findings come from the 23rd Annual State of the Air Report from the American Lung Association. The report examines two dangerous air pollutants, fine particles and
A study by
ozone.
the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air reveals hundreds of people are dying in the Philippines every year due to the air pollution caused by 28 coal-fired power plants in the country. The findings also show nearly 68% of the estimated premature deaths linked to air
In a May
pollution
2018
are in
study,
Luzon.
the World
Air
Health
is one of the basic
Organization found
necessities we
that the
human beings
Philippines is
cannot
the
live without.
third
How do we
deadliest
ensure
country
that we
for
breathe
outdoor
clean
air
air
pollution,
every day? Joining us
and
now is U.S.
second
Embassy
in
Science Fellow
indoor
and
air
quality
pollution
expert
in the
Michael
Asia-Pacific
Schell
region.
to help us understand
This is
what
why
can be done
local
to
government
improve air
units like
quality
Marikina City
in the
work
Philippines.
to improve the air quality in their area.
Do you imagine living in this world without air? You might already have an answer. Of course, it's a no. Then our question would be, what would have happened if there were no air in the air? If there were no air. Organisms that need air to breathe will die. Plants, land animals, fish, most aquatic organisms will die. And us, humans, will surely die. But maybe your question right now is it really possible that the Earth will run out of air? Probably yes. New research published in Nature Geoscience shows that Earth's oxygen will still stick in this world for a billion years. But we still need cleaner air to survive.
Around the world, 9 out of 10 people breathe unhealthy air. Air pollution is now the biggest environmental risk for early death, responsible for more than 6 million premature deaths each year from heart attacks, strokes, diabetes, and respiratory diseases. That's more than the deaths from AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria combined. Children, the elderly, people with existing diseases, and minority and low-income communities are particularly vulnerable to adverse health outcomes and economic impacts such as missed workdays from exposure to air pollution.
We need your help in the fight for healthy air. Get involved in the fight for cleaner air. Let's work together to discover solutions in reducing air pollution. This world needs cleaner air to survive.
Our country is known globally for being the pearl of the Aryan Sea in Asia. We are abundant of beautiful places, beaches, rich culture, and resilient people. However, our culture comes along with those practices that seem to be normal to us. But little did most of our countrymen know, those practices are the main cause of some natural phenomena and diseases we are enduring today, and it may even become worse in the near future.
Kaingin is very common in our country. It was an ancient practice that eventually becomes a tradition. It is a method of slashing and burning a piece of land to restore the nutrients and be able to produce crops faster. These practices may have been illegal in the Philippines, but due to lack of enforcement, these practices remain today. It has plenty of negative effects not just on ourselves, but to the atmosphere where all the living things depends on.
The burning of the trees and the leaves produces chemical that can be very dangerous when breathed on. Sadly, Kaingin is only one of the plenty reasons of air pollution in our country. The following clips I'll be presenting to you may seem very familiar. It may even surprise you, since those clips are clips that may seem very normal, but is truly harmful for your health.
The air pollution became one of the major problems of the 20th century. Due to the Industrial Revolution that have happened in the mid-19th century, where most of the factories and power plants are being built to produce different types of products that results to changes within the climate, temperature, and humidity, and it currently continuously destroying our ozone layer, emitting greenhouse gases that results to changes within the temperature and unpredictable weather.
So here I am, encouraging you to take your very own little step towards fighting this air pollution. Let's not be blind with this problem and together be the solution.
Air pollution indeed has negative effects on the environment and on our mother nature. That is why it is necessary for our country and government to have policies and movements that will protect and maintain the quality of air for all of us. Luckily, we have this Republic Act number 8749, also known as the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. This was signed by the former President Joseph Estrada on June 23, 1999. It is a comprehensive air quality management policy and program which aims to achieve and maintain healthy air for all Filipinos. It aims to formulate a holistic national program of air pollution management and encourage cooperation and self-regulation among citizens and industries. The lead agency for the implementation of this law is the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR. As per Section 3 of this law, which is the Declaration of Policies, the state shall pursue a policy of balancing development and environmental protection. Following are the activities that are prohibited by this law to prevent air pollution. First is the incineration or the burning of biomedical, hazardous, and municipal waste. Smoking inside a public building or an enclosed public place, including public vehicles and other means of transport, or in an enclosed area outside of one's private residence, private place of work, or any duly designated smoking area. Manufacturing, importing, selling, supplying, offering for sale, dispensing, and transporting of unleaded premium gasoline, automotive diesel, and industrial diesel fuels without meeting fuel specifications. Manufacturing, importing, and selling of leaded gasoline and engines and/or components requiring leaded gasoline. And the last one is the manufacturing, processing, and trading of fuel or fuel additives without them having prior registration with the Department of Energy. All violators will be subjected to different fines and penalties. Aside from this act, there are also several movements that aim to protect and maintain healthy air for us. And one of those is the Clean Air Program. This program was implemented by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR. The objective of the Clean Air Program is to come up with a comprehensive national program to achieve and maintain air quality that meets the National Air Quality Guidelines for criteria pollutants throughout the Philippines, while minimizing the possible associated negative impacts on the country's economy. This program is divided into 3 sub-programs, and those are: first, Motor Vehicle Emission Management Program; next is the Industrial Emission Management Program; and the third one is the Roadside Ambient and General Ambient Air Monitoring. These programs will effectively manage the 3 sources of air emission, namely mobile, stationary, and area sources. The monitoring of roadside and general ambient air quality is an essential activity by the agency. This enables agencies and local government officers to assess the air quality in their area of jurisdiction and formulate a comprehensive policy or regulation for the betterment of their locality. As the monitoring stations are spread in Metro Manila and other highly urbanized cities, this gives better representation of the air quality nationwide. Furthermore, there is also an international non-government organization that leads a regional mission for better air quality and healthier, more livable cities throughout Asia. And this non-government organization is called Clean Air Asia. Since 2008, they have been a United Nations recognized partnership of more than 250 organizations in Asia and internationally, with almost 6 country networks, which are the Indonesia, Malaysia, Nepal, the Philippines, Sri Lanka, and Vietnam. Clean Air Asia's mission is to reduce air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions in Asia and contribute to the development of a more sustainable, equitable, and healthier region. Their work focuses on implementing solutions that reduce air pollution, its detrimental health impacts, and mitigate the climate crisis. They do so by providing policy guidance, building capacity, and making a compelling case for action among stakeholders at city, national, and regional levels. Also, empowering governments and cities by inspiring action and focusing efforts on planning and implementation of solutions at scale, fostering regional cooperation to address issues of mutual concern, and ensuring the integration of air quality management across sectors and institutions. And by those aforementioned government policy, movement, and organization, we are hoping that you will also take an action and make an effort to protect and maintain the quality of our air. And last, we are also hoping that this environmental problem, the air pollution, will come to an end.
We have covered the different organizations and movements like the Clean Air Act program and Philippine Movement for Climate Justice. But the question is, what are their goals and aims? Do they have the influence to say that they can achieve their purpose? Here we will cover what are the goals and aims regarding our topic. First, we will focus on the aim of the Clean Air Act program. Now, what is the main goal of the said program? First is to formulate a holistic national program of air pollution management that shall be implemented by the government through proper delegation and effective coordination of function and activities, encouraging cooperation and self-regulation among citizens and industries through the application of market-based instruments, focusing on pollution prevention rather than on control, and providing a comprehensive management program for air pollution, promoting public information and education to encourage the participation of an informed and active public for air quality planning and management. Lastly, formulating and enforcing a system of accountability for short and long-term adverse environmental impact of a project, program, or activity. The subject of this program is those who have a significant effect on the quality of air in the Philippines. This includes the private vehicle owners, public utility vehicles, etc., etc. They are inspected for the emission standards for motor vehicles set pursuant to and as provided in this Act. This Act also inspects the pollution that came from stationary sources such as industrial plants, cement plants, and incinerators, who also contributes in creating smog and unhealthy air that we might breathe. All of them have restrictions and limitations on how much waste they can create. If they ever reach or go beyond the limitations provided by the state, the Pollution Adjudication Board shall impose a fine of not more than 100,000 pesos for every day of violation against the owner or operator of the stationary source, such until time that the standards have been complied with. The next thing we will talk about is the aims and focus of the Philippine Movement for Climate Justice. The Philippine Movement for Climate Justice is formed because of the organizations that have witnessed the heightened impacts of climate change in our country. One of their main aims towards our topic is the divestment of coals and fossil fuels. Coals and fossil fuels are one of the greatest contributors in producing greenhouse gases. They produce a fifth of the global greenhouse emissions, which is more than any other single source. One thing we need to note is that fossil fuels are finite and is expected to last until 2090. It is not a good thing to the Philippines since we are still dependent on coals, and specifically 45% of the power we generate comes from coal. The Philippine Movement for Climate Justice addresses that our country needs to phase out coals, fossil fuels, and dirty energy that contributes in global warming and climate change. They also aim on reducing the emission that our country emits in order to slow down the rise of global temperature. They have done many contributions on the Philippines, and they have successfully stopped 11 coal-fired power projects and successfully stopped 7 power supply agreement of Meralco.
The Philippines and every nation in the world is coming together in order to mitigate air pollution and create a healthier place where every person can breathe fresh air. With the government and non-governmental organizations working together, formulating frameworks for sustainable development, indeed, there is a way to achieve such a dream. The Republic Act number 8749, or what we call the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999, has been a huge stepping stone. It opened each and every Filipino's mind in every way possible to help lessen the country's air pollution. It gave sufficient motivation by presenting concrete frameworks where individuals can saw potential in achieving a greater state for our environment. Some of their successful projects are Linis o Ligtas Hangin Program, Industrial Enforcement Program for Stationary Sources, and strong collaborations between government and stakeholders on measures to address air pollution. There is also Clean Air Asia, a non-governmental organization who facilitates the development and implementation of appropriate best policies and practices for clean air across Asia. Even with the pandemic, Clean Air Asia continues its mission. They have utilized the opportunities brought by the increased recognition of air quality management and climate action as part of national and local recovery plans in the post-COVID era. According to CAA or Clean Air Asia's annual report last 2020, they have successfully continued their advocacy for more stringent emission control for coal-fired power plants in Asia, continued working to promote sustainable transport in Asia, continuous information dissemination to stakeholders and the public about air pollution and its impacts, providing clear information about the state of air quality, mitigation processes, and policies, which enables national and city-level governments to more effectively communicate about air quality issues. Their Youth for Clean Air Network, or YCAN members, also launched a video messaging movement called Second Chance Challenge to enable youth to voice their opinions on how nature needed to be rejuvenated, resulting in pledges to contribute to cleaner air. And on World Environment Day, they conducted a nature hack for clean air to encourage youths to brainstorm innovative nature-based solutions for clean air. Since we already know the existence of these movements and we've seen good effects from it, all we need to do now is to continue. If programs like this continues, we could definitely mitigate air pollution. Let us make Balanga City in the province of Bataan as an example. Balanga was reported to be the cleanest city in the Philippines last 2021 according to Philippines Air Quality Index report. But what makes this city the cleanest? A citywide coastal cleanup, a trust fund for green cities, and banning smoking are just some of the initiatives Balanga City has taken to create a livable and sustainable place. The citywide coastal cleanup improves the city's water condition. Under the greening efforts, the city has tree planting activities and eco-friendly bike lanes and walkways. Besides that, Balanga City is also smoke-free. The city was able to achieve this by using many signs that remind citizens, which are also reinforced with fines and penalties. Just by knowing that this is possible for a city, it also means that we can achieve this nationally. If we work hand in hand and continually support projects that aim to reduce air pollution, and by constantly disciplining ourselves in caring for our nature, that is when this will be possible. We may not be there yet, but we will be if we continued doing our part in the society.
Air pollution is one of the biggest killers all over the world. In fact, air pollution in India caused approximately 1.2 million deaths in 2017.
A survey published by Lancet Planetary Health concluded that unusually high rates of lower respiratory infections, heart diseases, stroke, diabetes, and lung cancer cause 1 in 8 deaths. The situation is so alarming that no Indian state achieves the air quality limits mentioned by World Health Organization. Not just outdoor, the poor condition also affects the indoor air quality. The presence of PM 2.5 and carbon dioxide buildup as a result of outdoor pollution can have a negative impact on your health.
The impact of increasing air pollution is more dangerous than we think. If air pollution is not controlled, by 2030 the air will become so poisonous that it will be necessary to use an oxygen kit to breathe easily. Imagine going anywhere with an oxygen kit just to protect yourself from the thing that you can no longer control.
Rising air pollution will also lead to premature aging. Human exposure to air toxins will increase to a great extent if air pollution is not controlled. The Environmental Protection Agency states that exposure to the pollutants is directly linked to cancer and heart disease.
Air pollution has been a worldwide problem, which makes it important to know the possible consequences of uncontrolled pollution. Some of the harmful consequences of air pollution are
prevents photosynthesis, which affects the air quality, acid rain, depletion of the ozone layer, global warming, cardiovascular diseases, allergies, asthma attacks, bronchitis among kids, and slow pulmonary development.
Today is already the year 2022, and we only have few years left to change everything, to prevent this from happening. Do you really want to experience this in the future? If you will ask me, of course, I'll say no. And I know you also don't want to suffer. So what you're gonna do after you realize what will gonna happen in the future if air pollution keeps continuing?
Breathing clean air is an important health concern for all of us, and that is why keeping the environment clean is beneficial to our health. And that is why most countries have a mandated law that is intended for keeping the cleanliness of the air. Aside from that, there are also NGOs that are advocates for clean air. Foundation for the Philippine Environment, an NGO based in Quezon City, Philippines, who is a leading organization in taking actions for biodiversity conservation and sustainable development towards healthy ecosystems and resilient communities. They are also committed to build constituencies and capacities for the environment to promote responsive policies. The Ecological Society of the Philippines, a non-profit, non-governmental organization which collaborates with both the private and public sectors of Philippine society for the institution, sponsorship, assistance, financing of action programs, studies, and research pertaining to the conservation and protection of nature in its all forms. Pollution Control Association of the Philippines Incorporated, a non-stock, non-profit, and non-government organization formed in June 1980 through the initiative of NPCC Commissioner retired General Guillermo A. Pecache to work hand-in-hand with the government in the protection of the environment, prevention, abate and control of land, air, and water pollution. These are only some of the local NGOs that are advocates for clean air. But what about internationally? Breathe Life, a global campaign that mobilizes cities and individuals to take action on air pollution to protect our health and the planet. The campaign is led by the World Health Organization, United Nations Environment Program or UNEP, and the Climate and Clean Air Coalition. The Climate and Clean Air Coalition or CCAC is a voluntary partnership of governments, intergovernmental organizations, businesses, scientific institutions, and civil society organizations committed to protecting the climate and improving air quality through actions to reduce short-lived climate pollutants. Inspire, Health Advocates for Clean Air is a collaboration formed by the Global Health Organization, Vital Strategies. They are an organization founded in 2003 at New Delhi, India. The initiative was launched by members of the Working Group on Air Pollution and Lung Health at the International Union Against Tuberculosis and Lung Disease. They aim to mobilize a global coalition of public health professionals and organizations to advocate for clean, healthy air. USEPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, is an independent executive agency of the United States federal government tasked with environmental protection matters. And lastly, the Global Action Plan for Healthy Lives and Well-Being for All, or the SDG3GAP, established in 2019 by the World Health Organization, which brings together 13 multilateral health, development, and humanitarian agencies, with its goal being to help countries accelerate progress on health-related sustainable development goals. But even after all this, what can we do as individuals? We must learn to lessen the use of plastic products. The production of plastics itself is very harmful as they release toxic chemicals and they take a very long time to decompose. Instead, use paper bags and reusable bags as an alternative to plastics. We can also change public transportation equipment to something that is more environmentally friendly. In the Philippines, jeepneys, and other public service vehicles, which are 15 years or older, are being phased out gradually in favor of the more efficient and environmentally friendly Euro 4 compliant vehicles. We should also learn to utilize renewable fuel and clean energy production. We can start by using less energy from fossil fuels and replacing them with alternative energies such as solar, wind, and geothermal. We could also adopt clean household energy and technologies to reduce household air pollution and protect our health.
The next alternative could apply to all countries, and that is adopting green buildings, such as what Singapore is doing.
The Green Building Master Plan, which was first rolled out in 2006, has also been continually updated since then. The goal of this master plan is to encourage developers to embed sustainability as part of a building's life cycle. This concept came from the idea of replacing the greenery that was cut down or removed in place of the building. The target of this master plan is to have at least 80% of the building's floor area in Singapore to be green by 2030.
There are a lot of things we could do more than we are aware of, but it is never too late to improve our way of life. The best defense is knowledge and advocacy.
Do you know? According to a statistic provided by World Health Organization, 9 out of 10 people currently breathe polluted air. Air pollution is indeed a significant risk factor for human health conditions, causing allergies, respiratory and cardiovascular disease, as well as lung damage.
Around 7 million people died each year due to complications caused by air pollution.
A small amount of air pollution comes from our natural resources such as
Volcano eruption, wind-blown dust, wildfires, and fossil fuels emission.
we don't have any control in our air pollution caused by these natural resources. But what we have control over is human activities that are responsible of the world's air pollution.
Example, smoking cigarette, burning fossil fuels, and driving cars.
Do you have any idea on how to lessen our air pollution? Okay, let's hear it.
Good day everyone. I am May Nigda. I recommended that turn off the lights when not in use to lessen the air pollution. Here's the reason why. The energy that the lights take also contribute to air pollution. Thus, less consumption of electricity can save energy. Use energy-saving fluorescent lights to help the environment. Turning off the lights when leave your home is a cost-effective way to reduce your wasted energy. You need to choose high-quality light bulbs to make your home more energy efficient. It's also helpful to keep your energy bills low, save money, and preserve the earth.
Hi, I'm Jinky Mariano, 21 years of age, studying Bachelor of Science in Food Technology at Bicol University, Tabaco Campus. I recommend to lessen the air pollution by reduction of forest fire and smoking. The collecting of garbage and getting it on fire in dry seasons or dry leaf catching fires is a huge factor for causing air pollution. Moreover, smoking also causes air pollution and causes the air quality to worsen along with obviously damaging one's health.
Hi, I am Chris Angelique B. Iturriaga, a student from Mindoro State University. I recommend to reuse, reduce, and recycle to lessen air pollution. Here is the reason why. The concept of recycling and reusing is not just to conserve resources and use them judiciously. It is also helpful for air pollution as it helps reduce pollution emissions. The recycled products also take less power to make than other products.
Hi, I am Piolo Justine de Luna Ramos. I recommend to use public transportation to lessen the air pollution. Using public transport is a short way of contributing to less air pollution as it provides with less gas and energy. Even carpools contribute to it. In addition to less release of fuels and gas, using a public transport can also help in saving money. Lesser vehicles on roads will contribute to lesser emissions. Using public transport will help in reducing the overall emissions, number of vehicles reduced on the roads, lesser traffic congestion episodes, and it is a pocket-friendly alternative.
These are some recommendations for reducing the risk of harm from air pollution. All of them have the potential to make a big difference even if you are only taking a small step to help our environment. A little reminder, prevention remains the best treatment option.